Right off the bat, I want to say that I am a hard-set head, and I can be just about the biggest asshole that anyone has ever seen. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy at all. It comes to me because, the slightest offset, somebody insulting me, they might just be busting balls. I tend to go off, and I turn into a fucking asshole. And like I said, I don't want to be that guy. There are a lot of people who have a decent amount of respect for me, and I appreciate that. The people who don't, you know who you are. The people who do, you know who you are. I don't like to be an asshole. It hurts me in the end, because I have plenty of opportunities to make friendships with people, and what happens is the slightest thing sets me off, and I gotta go to war. I have to go to war, and I don't want to do that, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's funny, ultimately, I just want to get along with everybody. And it doesn't always work, because people have their own sense of humor. People have their own way of going about friendships, and sometimes I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get where you're coming from. If I feel offended, I have to come at you. I have to be a bit of a dick, because I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know if it's ball busting. I don't know if it's sincere hatred toward me. I don't know what it is. So I have to deal with things as they come to me. And ultimately, I would like to be friends with all of you. But it becomes very difficult, because this person doesn't like this person. And then, so if I'm friends with A, B doesn't get along with A. So then I have to make a decision who I'm friends with. And I don't like that shit at all. I don't. I'm all for war. If there is a certain derelict group of people who just decides that, oh, well, it doesn't matter what I say or do, I'm just going to go ahead and say or do it. And they're going to fuck with people who are near and dear to me, and that pisses me off. And I have to. I have an obligation to go to war for them. And in a metaphorical sense, I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm not actually going to hurt anybody. I just I need to defend the people that have respect for me. I need to be able to be a soldier for people who have soldiered on for me, who have defended me. And somebody once told me that, listen, a lot of us, as if I take it for granted, like a lot of us have defended you and we've taken bullets for you socially because, we care about you. And that is very meaningful to me. It can be easily seen that maybe I take that for granted, but I don't. I do care about everybody who genuinely cares about me. It's a mutual thing. If somebody is willing to defend me, then I will defend them. That's the way it works. If somebody is a complete shitbag and they just do not care about people in general, then, I mean, you dug your own grave there. And if I'm faced with that, if I'm faced with a person who is offending somebody that I have a great deal of respect for because they have had a great deal of respect for me, then I'm going to come at you pretty hard. There are certain people who have clout. They have people they can call on to do things to me and my family that are, unsavory. If that's the path that you want to choose, then you are going to dig your own grave. I mean, you're going to end up in a position where you don't have anybody on your side, really. Take, for example, that one guy who clearly works for the FBI. He called the FBI because of some things that I said online, which were, less than, not very smart, not very intelligent. And I understood that. I understood it at the time, but I live with my parents, okay? And you can laugh at me for that, but when you call the FBI and you tell them that I'm a danger because of some text on a screen, what is it, 2020 now? It was 2019 when this happened, but is this not pretty normal that people say things online? Here's the thing. It would be one thing if I lived on my own. I don't live on my own. I live with my parents. So, these two people in their 60s who are trying very hard to make a living, to enjoy their lives, you sent people to my house. You sent a government agency to my house. And like I said, it'd be one thing if I lived on my own. You're affecting two innocent parties that have nothing to do with any interaction between you and I. That's pretty fucked up. And I could go into all the rigmarole about, you're on Tiny Chat, your kid's crying in the background, begging for food, and you're, oh no, but you're busy. Because, I mean, you want to talk about justice. Yeah. This, like, to inconvenience me and my family. It would be one thing to inconvenience me. Like I said, if I had my own place, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'd laugh about it. I would. But, you inconvenienced my parents. You really did. And then, obviously, you know what happened after that. They railed into me. Because it's my fault that somebody who was clearly very unhappy with their life decided that they needed a scapegoat. It's just sad. It really is. However, the other people who they include me in things, they try to be my friends. Those are the people I really appreciate. And it's because even though it's on the line, it's pretty much the same thing as like just hanging out with people day to day. Most people are I mean we have a very unique community. Most people, you walk down the street, you go to a store, you talk to people, they don't really want anything to do with you. And there's a reason why we all converse and why we spend time together, and that's because we're all pretty much in the same boat. And if anyone has anything to say against that, I'd love to hear it, because if somebody if somebody shows up, right, to the community and they complain about some petty shit, I'm not involved or whatever, or I feel out of place, or, you're not out of place. There's a reason that you came there. There's a reason that we all converse. And there's a reason that certain people show up at certain times. That's because they're bored. I show up a lot because I'm often bored. Some people, they might not show up for a month, but they'll show up and we know their name and we know them. And we know that the reason why they only show up once in a while, because they're only bored once in a while. There's only one reason why we all converse, and there's only one reason why we all congregate in the same place, and that's because we're fucking bored. We have nothing to do. We got nothing going on, really. A lot of people have relationships, that, okay, yeah, and that explains, that they'll show up when they show up, because they do have other shit going on. I, unfortunately, don't have much going on, so I show up a lot, and I don't know, you guys are my friends, most of you anyway, but to do like that kind of shit is just, it's just beyond the scope of anything that I can understand. I mean, you really have to, like, you're projecting is what you're doing. I mean, it's pretty clear that, like, you're not happy with your own life. And so you take it out on me. And don't take this the wrong way. I know you get your buddies in the bureau, but I'm the epitome of the wrong person to fuck with. And see, that's how I know you work for them. Because you're doing it on purpose. I'm not gonna break on your fucking behalf. I'm not. Because I'm smarter than that. But man, I mean, whether you're an undercover agent, whatever the fuck, you got some shit to figure out, dude. You got some serious shit to figure out. I do too, but not to the extent that you do. It's amazing to me. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to help you, but you would not. You would refuse that help. You would, because you think you're better than me. It's a disease, a disorder that most of us face from time to time. There have been people who tried to help me out, and I felt offended by it, or wrong about it, or I don't want to take that help from anybody. That's only human. But in your case, when you are interfering with people's lives who are completely innocent, who have nothing to do with you, then, dude, that's pretty fucked up. Like, you really gotta step back. You don't dare look in the mirror. Fucking step back and figure out what the fuck you're doing. Because, I mean, tit for tat, I'd do some heinous shit, but I'm past that now. You're not worth my time. I'm sorry that this is the way you choose to live your life. I'm sorry that this is how you earn a paycheck. And for all the other people who kind of, keep me on the up and up, people who I consider friends, I love you guys. And my life is in shambles right now. I don't know what the fuck. I got 2 jobs. They're not great jobs, but they're jobs. And I'm just trying to find my way. To everyone who has been a friend to me, and I'm after somebody's mention of something, I don't want to name names. It's like an off the grid, like, sort of fuck all community. I don't want to be naming names and shit, but you all know who you are. You know if you're my friend. You know if you're my enemy. Certain people who I have deemed enemies before, I'm very sorry for the way that I've treated you, and you know who you are. That group of people. I'm just glad that I do have people to talk to, and I do have people to have fun with. And tonight's been an eventful night, and it's been fun, and hopefully there will be more to come. Because I don't want to be some depressed, miserable fuck whose only goal in life is to trample all over other people. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be neutral. I want to be friendly with people. And anyone's efforts to be friendly toward me have and always will help for me to, reciprocate and be the same way to the rest of you. Certain people they fall off with me. And unfortunately, because of the amount of anger that I have harbored in me, and the amount of hate that I have for certain types of people, it is up to you. And what I've seen is that a lot of people have made that effort to try to befriend me again, even after the fact, even after I've been sort of an asshole to some people. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes I can't get out of my own way. I try, and sometimes it just doesn't work. But a lot of you guys have made the effort to try to forgive me for the things that I've said and the things that I've done. And I appreciate that. The people who are my sworn enemies, they will always be that. And party to party, you all know who you are.